Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is the Monday show where I'm joined with my good friend Mark Oroyd from Suddenly Comics Overseas, who gives us a worldwide perspective of comics and the hottest. I'm trying to make it sound much bigger than it is. The hottest Silver Age comics of the week. Um, just before we started recording, I was telling Mark that this was a really interesting auction that I watched at Heritage. Um, Normally you see sort of the usual suspects. You see like AF-15, Avengers 1, Amazing Spider-Man 1. There's certain books that you just see week to week. Every week they're there.
Yeah.
There was no really big keys this week. I mean, it was really odd. Like there was a few big sales, I have to say, but it was really an odd week. And it looked like they must have encountered a Flintstones collection because there was a lot of Flintstones on Heritage this week. It was really weird. So I think you were about to say when we were talking a really good comment. I thought it was
Yeah,
about
so I'm just
how people
wondering
are
because
holding back. Yeah.
because the prices people are getting at the moment on Heritage really are quite low, and we've noticed people are getting better prices on eBay than they are on Heritage at
Hmm.
the moment. So I wonder whether a few people are now holding back their comics, waiting for the market to recover. Um, which I think will be a good sign, actually.
Hmm.
It probably means we've got through the people who are selling because they have to raise the cash. Once you get
Yeah,
to people
maybe.
that say that can afford to say, "Well, I want to sell this, but I'm not selling it at the current prices. I'm going to wait," then that's
Well,
a good sign.
yeah, then things can correct again,
Yeah,
back up a bit.
yeah,
Because yeah, I mean, if you're seeing like one or two AF-15 selling every week, that really kills the value of that book.
yeah,
It's like, oh, this book is really common and nobody really seems to want it. So it's just, it's like fire sale after fire sale.
yeah,
Um, so there's a few on this list though. I was shocked how affordable they were,
yeah,
starting with the first one. I was like, man, I wish I had picked it up from this.
yeah. So let's have a look, shall we? Where am I going? Somewhere here, I think. Not to my email. We'll go to my email and then we'll move on quickly. Right, there we go. This one was remarkably cheap. This went for the minimum price, right? Because
Yeah,
I buy at Heritage. This is about the minimum you can pay is $55. Well, once you've paid all the fees and everything, even if you bid $1, it ends up costing you about $50. Uh,
yeah,
so this is like somebody's bought this for nothing. Well, $55. They'll have bid about $2 or something on this. The rest of it,
yeah, something like that.
and
You
it's a
know, it's
comic. I mean,
what?
it's not key or anything, but it's
Yeah, well, no, it is a key. It's
oh, his first appearance of
Ulick.
Idlik. Okay,
Yeah, Ulick.
okay, yeah. In an 8.5, if that is a real good price. Somebody's got a
An
storied
8-0, yeah.
bargain here.
Yeah, so this is the first appearance of Ulick. It's actually I picked this book up raw, and it was mid grade, or I think I paid around $30. Or,
Yeah,
it wasn't 50, but this is the cost of the slap, really.
yeah, it
Your
is.
the book, they just inserted the book for free for you.
Yeah.
This is like I was really shocked by this one.
Well, this is
Usually with Heritage, people like if there's something that's $1, you'll get a few bids where people are like, oh, okay, I can get a steal, and a few
I
people
mean,
will bid and it'll go
exactly.
up to like 10 or 15.
So what I'll do at Heritage, if I do take time out to have a look at it, I'll go in and look at the ones where there's no bids or they're really
Yeah,
low, and I'll just put a low ball bid in and hope
I do
that.
the same. Yeah.
And I picked up three really nice mid-grade Lois Lanes for
Oh
$50 each.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah. So it can
So,
happen.
yeah,
This is what's happened here. Somebody's just put a low ball bid in. It's come up.
yeah,
Nobody's bid for it alive, and they've got it.
yeah. I mean, I think it's actually a reasonably cool cover, and it is a first
Great. It's not
appearance.
bad at
Yeah,
all, and
and
it's
it's in
really
high grade.
clean.
Yeah,
That's worth $50 of anybody's money at any time. You know,
yeah,
that's never going to have been a bad buy, is it?
Yeah, at that price. Yeah, because
So
like
yeah,
yeah.
let's
So yeah,
see.
so this let's see how bad of a of a day it
Well,
was
look,
for the
I mean,
seller.
it's this one here. It's this plummet down here. So the previous
Mhm.
one to this, well, there's one sale at 67, and then the pre one before that, which was only a month ago, was 158. So a
That
month ago,
seems like a more reasonable price for
yeah,
this book.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you'd have thought right round about here, 150 looks like a reasonable price for this.
And you can tell there was no COVID spike or anything for this
No,
book.
nothing.
Look,
No.
it's kind of a sort of a randomly. I imagine that first little spike that you see there is probably around like the first Thor movie or something like that, right? But
2017, possibly, probably a Thor movie.
or second,
I
yeah,
don't
maybe
think
it's
we've
Thor
had Ulick.
Ragnarok.
We haven't had Ulick in a movie, have we?
I'm not sure.
I don't think we have.
Okay, so yeah,
Correct us if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't think we've had
yeah,
Ulick.
so yeah, but it's a character that kind of minor character, but sure.
I mean, that's the same
Uh,
price as you would have paid in 2016. So
yeah,
you know,
but I don't know if you could get, how many graded books you can get for that price. Usually when people grade it, even if it's not a valuable book, they factor in the cost of grading,
well,
right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Um,
So,
if I see a slab at less than 25 pounds or less, I don't care what it is. I buy it
I buy it too. Yeah, just for fun. Yeah, it's like,
because I can sell it. I know I can sell it for 30 or more, regardless of,
yeah.
because
So,
as you say, if I get a comic slabbed from here in the UK, and I'm getting some done at the moment, we're probably talking the minimum it's going to cost me is about 30 pounds a slab, which is what, nearly $40. So, you know,
mhm, yeah, it's worth sometimes. Yeah, if you can pick it up for cheaper than your cost to grade it, why not?
yeah.
And people also when they buy it from you, and if they're buying you're making like $10 a slab or whatever it is, because you bought it cheap, and but they think that they're still getting a deal, when they're buying it at that $10 more, because it's still like everyone knows the cost of grading. It's,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
So there's only how many on the census? It's like
There's
really low.
382.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably a reflection of like you're only going to get this graded if you have a high grade copy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Why would you get this graded if it's a 5.0? So,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Moving on to number two. I love this comic, by the way. I absolutely love this. This
I
is
thought
my
this was
type of
interesting.
this is my type of thing. I really like this one, and I've not seen this cover before.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the
If
girl in
I'd
the
seen this, I would have been very, very tempted.
this had a few things that kind of made me feel a little bit golden agey. Like
Yeah,
the
it does. Yeah,
girl, the girl in the red dress.
yeah.
I thought this was just a cool one. There was a bunch of these unexpecteds that came up this week, but I thought this one was the coolest. Personally, I
It's
just,
a really nice cover.
yeah, I got the
SS
like the
Stardust.
yeah, isn't that awesome?
I mean,
So what is this? Is it
that is what you would wear if you were going to be put in a space pod.
capsule? They always, women when they go to space, they barely wear any clothing. It's just a thing you do. Um, they're lucky if they get the bubble helmet. Um, so yeah, so this is an 8.5, which is a nice copy for all black cover like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm surprised it got an 8.5 because it does have quite a lot of spine ticks down there. I don't know how many you're allowed for an
Oh,
8.
really?
Well, look at them all. Like one, two, three, four, five,
I
six.
think that's around the staple though. Those
Uh,
are staple things. Those are like where the
probably
staple is.
around.
That right there.
They're
I
not
think those are
isolated to the
staples.
stable. I mean, there's quite a few spine ticks there.
I don't know. I think you can have like three or four
Yeah, I
at
think there's
eight
more than
five.
that. Anyway, it's a nice.
You're being harsh on poor comic. Okay. What? So it's unexpected number. What
Unexpected
number is
9 from
29?
1958. Oh, here we
Ooh,
go, Alan. It's a record low.
record low. Oh my goodness.
So there's only two of these.
Wow.
And the last time one sold was 5 years ago in 2019. So pre-COVID, at 528. So this has not been a good
No,
investment.
no, wait, wait.
Yeah,
The second
no,
line.
this is the uninflated price was 528,
Oh wow. And now it's selling for 200,
380.
380. Okay, so wow. That is sad.
That
I
is a,
mean, and this has no reason to be down particularly.
it's just the
Um,
market. It's the market.
is this the highest grade copy? Probably not.
It might be. Hang on. Yeah, it is the highest grade copy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, highest graded. There's only two of them, and it's the highest graded.
Wow. Wow, you'd expect it to sell for like seven or 800
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. Well, the previous sale 6 years ago was nearly 600. So there's only 13 of these on the census.
Wow, somebody got a steal.
That was a steal,
And
definitely,
it's for such a beautiful looking comic
and it's
too.
a great.
I'm
It's
just
the top graded.
wow, that is crazy. Oh my goodness.
You won't see
I
that
mean,
again now because those two copies now will be locked away.
sometimes like, when you see these books where you don't see them very often, they can slip under the radar because people just don't know what they are
Yeah,
and don't know the coolness factor of them. That it's the highest graded, that it's well, it's a cool book that is it's a rare book as well. Wow, that's really interesting.
yeah.
I, I'm,
I
I'm
collect unexpected. I haven't got mainly for the Bronze Age horror period. But
mhm.
I have picked up a few early ones. They're really nice. They've
Like
got
when is this one from and who's the
this
artist?
one was from I want to say 1959, something like that. 1958.
Yeah, I mean it looked early, so that's why I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, these early Silver Age books are usually hard to find too. Like, I mean, that explains the census too. Like, it's a DC book.
yeah,
It's early code where, the market was really slow at that time. Like, it was a pretty dead time for comics. They were really just sort of hoping to survive, and not many books survived from that era. So, I mean, this is like a interesting. Interesting. I'm actually shocked that it sold for so little comparatively.
I would have definitely bid on this if I'd seen it, if I knew this was going at this sort of price. Very nice comic.
Hmm.
That cover's never going to go down in value. Well, I'd say it's never going to go down in value. It just has gone down in value.
It just went down. Um, wow, that's so sad. Okay, well that's interesting.
Right. Oh, here we go. You said there were a lot of Flintstones.
I
Here's
told you I try to pick one of the bigger Flintstone sales. So
So this is the Flintstone with Pebbles and Bam Bam number one. This is not
yes.
Flintstones number one. This is not Flintstones with Pebbles number one. This is Flintstone with Pebbles and Bam Bam number one. I know this because I had to try and find this on Go Collect, and I couldn't
Hmm.
find it until I put the and Bam Bam in on the title.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a really crazy title you gotta search. Um,
It's the
but
file copy.
yeah, yeah. So this is a Dell or Gold Key. I was gonna say Dell, but it's Gold Key at this point. File copy. Um, Now I'm not sure if this is a reprint of Adele, um, Pebbles and Bam Bam number one, but I
It
was
doesn't say
sort
it
of,
is.
yeah, because there is another book which is also Pebbles and Bam Bam number one.
This says on it from the Random House archives.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, I think Random House owns Gold Key, right?
Well, that's why they've got the file copy then. Yeah. Right.
Um,
Interesting. Let's have a look at this. 400.
and this is a giant, by the way.
It's
I
96
just
pages. It's a big one.
yeah. So in one thing that happens with giants generally is they're usually rarer because as a kid you gotta cough up twice as much money
Yeah.
to buy one, right?
Yeah. So
So they
if you get given 15 cents a week for a comic, you've got to save up for 2 weeks to buy this one.
yeah. And would you? Is the
Probably
question,
not.
right?
Most kids would want to go and spend their 15 cents as soon as they got it.
Hmm. Yeah. So 409
Eight
I'm
pounds,
having problems.
$408. Oh,
$408.
is it a record? It could be. No,
It's
that's not
close.
even that one. Yes, it is a record. It's a record, Alan.
Is it higher than the last that
Yeah,
first
it's
one?
the last sale is here. They haven't put this one on yet. So the last sale was 250 in April 2016, and this has gone for
Okay.
408, so nearly
Oh,
double.
it's way up.
It's
It's
way up. It's up
double
here
almost.
somewhere. It's up here somewhere.
Oh wow, that's great. I mean, finally we get a record. I always like records.
So what you should have
Um,
been doing instead of buying pesky arachnids, you should have been buying Flintstones with Pebbles and Bam Bam.
yeah. I mean, really. I mean, every collector knows that though. Yeah. I mean, it's a really interesting one that for it to sell that high. So
Well,
is
yes, but it
this
is
the
the file
highest?
copy. This is the highest graded. There's nothing else.
There's
Uh,
no 9.8
and
of this book.
the census is where's the census? Oh,
There's no
anyway,
census.
no census data. 9.6 is the highest grade. There you go. There's only about 424. There's only about 34 copies of this graded.
Wow. I mean, as I said, those giants are usually pretty rare. And then usually what happens is they get beat up anyways. They and so finding a high grade kids comic that kids wouldn't normally buy is actually a
I
pretty
have
big
to
deal.
say though, if I was given a choice between that
Oh yeah,
and
I would
that,
totally buy that. Oh
I'm definitely going to have bought that.
yeah, of course. That's a no brainer to me. Like especially at 25 cents versus 12 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is Pebbles and Bam Bam sort of number one.
If you say so. Right, here we go. The fourth comic. Oh, it's a nice Strange Tales
Yeah, they had a
monster
few
cover.
Strange Tales as well.
It's a Kirby monster cover, I think.
Strange Tales, what issue? And is it Kirby? It's
Number 81. It's Jack
81.
Kirby and Dick Ayers cover and art.
I was thinking this is kind of interesting because it's the Scarecrow.
Yes.
Now I like these monster ones. Each title was a different monster that they would play with.
Yeah, and I love the little Kirby people running around and looking out of their windows. What this guy's doing is I can't decide if he's hanging onto the roof or he's hanging onto the one of the straws from the Scarecrow's hand.
Looks like a bit of both. He almost looks like somebody just plunked him there. He
Yeah,
didn't. It doesn't look like.
that's a bit. Lots of Kirby people with hats. There's a Kirby hat look.
Oh, that's cool. That's if you're gonna be a Kirby person, you have to have a hat.
Brilliant.
It's very cool.
I haven't seen this one before.
I haven't actually seen this one before too. Like I know most of the monster covers, but
Yeah, I
not this
mean,
one. I was like, I thought this one was cool, so that's why it's on the list.
right. Um, 552 for an 8.5 sounds another bargain.
That sounds like well, I don't know. I think that seems
Okay, let's have a look.
because these monster ones really don't go for
It
as
is another
much.
bargain.
Oh, it is a bargain though. I would have thought this was actually a strong sale, but
Well, it's sold for the same price as it sold for in 2003, roughly.
oh, that is terrible.
Uh,
And these I don't think
and
come
that
up
is
that
not a
often.
COVID price. That one there is pre-COVID, so it's down a half. And that was not a COVID price.
Wow.
Somebody,
You
there's
know,
another deal being had here at Heritage. Now's the time to go and buy your comics at Heritage, guys. There's some real
well,
buy.
that this book right here explains why I didn't see the typical big key ones. Like if you're gonna lose half your value if every time you bring a book up to auction, nobody's gonna do it. Nobody's gonna be
And
like,
there's only
okay,
five of
I'll
these.
hold
Only
this.
five. These are rare comics. Um, yeah, there's five
Highest
eight
grade is a nine
fives,
two.
and there's only two nines. There's one nine two that's never sold. So
Yeah.
effectively, it's
This
the
is like the
highest
third
available
highest grade.
grade.
Yeah. Craziness. But these monster books have been fairly undervalued for a long time, I think. I just think that they just don't get the love that they deserve. And there's so many prototypes and interesting things in them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I've
mean,
got
look at the
two of these.
census. It's only got 100 and something on the census.
93. Yeah,
Yeah, like okay, not even 100.
and it's
Yeah,
Kirby. It cares, It's not as if it's some unknown artist.
yeah, yeah. No, uh, and it's reasonably cool. You got the guy hanging out in the building.
So
Got the little
uh,
Kirby people.
you need to. The only comics that are doing well are ones with Bam Bam in. If this had been Strange Tales, the Scarecrow walks with Bam Bam, it'd have probably gone up in value.
Oh yeah, that would have been $1 million book. Um, yeah. So I'm actually a little bit surprised that this one is down. That much considering there's no real reason it should be down.
It's just the market. The market's
Yeah,
depressed. Nobody's buying. So the people
yeah.
that used to, you know, watch Heritage and bid on Heritage and spend money there, are just not doing it at the moment. So
Hmm.
the few people that are there picking up some bargains.
Like I consider myself a reasonably big buyer on
Yeah,
Heritage. And I have to admit that I like the last few weeks, I've like a few months even, actually, I should say. What I've been doing is I used to pay fair market value or even slightly above fair market value and be willing to do that. But now I set my bid and I walk away at at a price where it's well below fair
yeah,
market value.
yeah,
Maybe other people are taking the same strategy
yeah.
and just sort of, yeah. So it's
Right. Okay. Let's
a good time to pick up some deals.
the last one. Right. My greatest adventure. This is the first appearance of Doom Patrol.
So this is a major book. This
It
one
is a
seemed
major
cheap
book.
too,
Yeah, I like this.
actually.
This is I would have this on my shopping list. This is on my want list.
Hmm. Like I have a similar graded copy actually. Um, I really like this book. Um,
And they're on the cover as well.
yeah, it's got a lot going for it. I just like the characters. I think they're really cool. Elongated man or girl, woman. Sorry, robot,
Yeah. Invisible Man, Negative Man.
negative man. Yeah,
This old guy looks like he's escaped from a Popeye comic.
I know he looks a little bit out of place, but yeah.
Right. So, very nice comic. Let's see what it says on the top of it. Origin and first appearance of Doom Patrol, Dr. Niles Calder, Negative Man, Elastigirl, and
Elastigirl. I was trying to remember her name. I was going through all the
Silver Age.
elongated. It's like, um, so yeah. So I mean, just like pretty much all the major characters for the Doom Patrol in this book. The title actually changes to Doom Patrol a few issues later.
Oh,
I think
right.
80,
It's one of these
I
that
think
changes it.
86 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um, so yeah. So I mean, they were fairly popular back in the day, and I think the TV series was reasonably good. I mean, I thought it was fun. It was pretty wacky.
So here's
Um,
a question to challenge you, Alan. So
mhm.
we know, so who came first in terms of the teams? Was it Doom Patrol or Challengers of the Unknown? Both came way before the Fantastic Four, any of the Marvel teams. But which of the two DC teams, Challengers of the Unknown and Doom Patrol, came first?
I'm not sure.
So this is the first Doom Patrol in '63. There should be you
Oh,
should
so
be able
it's
to
much
answer.
later. This is much later. I
Yeah.
think Challengers of the Unknown is 61 or
No,
62.
58.
Oh, 58. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I would have said Challengers of the Unknown then.
Yeah.
Once you say 63, I knew it was
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
knew it was like 60 something, early 60, but it's 58. That's even earlier. So,
Yeah, because there's the speculation is of course that because Kirby created the Challenges of the Unknown, and
mhm.
he basically the story is that he basically reworked with them with Stan Lee to create the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's the story that I've always heard. I mean, if you look at several of the challengers of the unknown versus Fantastic Four, you can see some major parallels.
Yeah.
It's not, there's a lot of crossover. So yeah, this one's a cool book. And it seemed a bit undervalued in my opinion, but you know, uh, seven is 576.
576. Let's have a look. I think
So
that's
a little
low.
bit, almost a
Oh, it
hundred
is
dollars a
low.
point.
Look at this.
Yeah, I
Oh,
told you. I felt it was low.
you are right. Oh, goodness me. That is roughly what you'd have paid for it in 2018.
Wow. I mean, there's a few things going wrong with this book right now, if you think about it. The show has been canceled. Um, I'm not sure if they even have like an ongoing series right now. So it's out of mind kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And the TV series was good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saying that I thought it was fun. Had some pretty major actors in it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear. Here we go, Alan. And so it remained the one bright star in the sky is Bam Bam.
Yeah, it's very disappointing to the only thing. And look at the census. It's not even that high.
No, it's really low considering this is a key.
Yeah. Like what's the number? It's 181.
80.
I can't. What?
It's issue 80.
No, 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 no. Sorry, I can't read the census numbers.
Oh, sorry,
My contacts are going crazy.
693.
693. Okay. I just couldn't see I couldn't see the number at all for some reason. My contacts are going crazy today. Um okay, so wow. Okay, hopefully the next five that we're going to show won't be so painful. But this kind of explains why you don't see the big, big, big grails coming up. Um, let's see what's on Mark's list. Just it's going to be one of those don't cry videos. Like, please don't. Can you avoid crying when you see how the market tanks? Like
Well, alternatively, the other way to view it, Alan, is that it's a great opportunity if you're in the market,
true,
to pick
true.
up comics that you couldn't previously afford are now affordable again.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm not, because I picked up most of my Silver Age keys. This is more of a crying thing for me.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's
No,
like I like to see the books that I bought, go up and not be like, oh man, I should just if I had just waited, eh, you know, but not that I would know to have waited,
no.
like who could predict all this kind of stuff? Um, yeah, it's kind of sad. But oh well. Go over
Right.
to Mark's channel. There are some pretty big books on Mark's channel.
There are some
Go
reasons.
over and watch it. Okay. Thanks everyone. Bye for
Bye.
now.